Yes, Lester Kiewit is at Parliament for us. He joins us now live. Lester, Pravin Gordhan reminding Parliament that President Cyril Ramaphosa, in his State of the Nation address, promised to turn the tide of corruption at SOEs. According to what you heard today, is progress being made?
Well, Pravin Gordhan admitted to a slow but steady progress being made in shaking up state-owned companies. He says slowly but surely that they are digging out the rot at several of South Africa's state-owned enterprises and slowly and at the same time uncovering further allegations of corruption. He details some of the big players like Eskom, Transnet, Denel and Alex Gore. But Pravin Gordhan is saying that over the last 6 months, they've been able to uncover a lot of wrongdoing at state-owned enterprises. Several executive management structures have been shaken up. He's detailed that there are dozens of internal disciplinary hearings taking place at state-owned enterprises, and at the same time, several police cases have been opened. He was asked on an update on how far those criminal investigations are going, but he says that is purely in the ambit of the South African Police Service as well as the Hawks. Quite interestingly, the Hawks was at Parliament today to give an update on various high-profile cases. My colleague Annika Larson was at that briefing, and she'll give more detail on exactly what the Hawks said in the ongoing state capture investigations. But Pravin Gordhan saying that he's had meetings with the ministers of police as well as the ministers of justice to try and expedite these several pending criminal allegations and criminal charges that are ongoing when it comes to the phenomena in South Africa known as state capture.
Lester, for months now, we've heard about billions of rand being siphoned off from state-owned entities, and the question has always been whether the people behind it, the people responsible for this criminal action, will ever actually face criminal charges. Today we hear 11 criminal cases have been opened.
That's right. Minister Pravin Gordhan, in detailing just the extent of how state enterprises were allowed to be captured. He's said that in many cases those who are corrupted have found new ways to perform their malfeasance, and in some areas he says that many people have found new political friends to try and hide their wrongdoing. But he says slowly but surely that investigations into state capture are ongoing. There's still the ongoing parliamentary process, which he also did allude to. Parliament is also still to finish its investigation into the case surrounding Eskom. But Pravin Gordhan saying that these investigations are going. In many cases, many senior members of boards of SOEs have already left. If you look in the case of Anuj Singh, this is the former chief financial officer of Eskom, he has also already left that post. But in many cases, Pravin Gordhan saying that investigations are still ongoing. They're still trying to recover monies. When it comes, for example, the case of McKinsey, while a lot of money has been returned to Eskom, Pravin Gordhan saying that they're now on a mission to recoup a lot of that interest that had been piled up. So in terms of what the minister is saying, it's a slow but steady process to try and right the ship, which is South Africa's state-owned enterprises.
Lester, also for so long the corruption, the state capture at our SOEs was linked with a considerable paper trail to the Gupta family. That line of the story has gone silent for some time now. We heard a few weeks back, I think, that the Gupta family, some of the brothers had been spotted somewhere in India. Anything on that leg of the story, that very important part of the state capture story?
I think Pravin Gordhan is leaving that squarely in the ambit of the South African police. As I said, that the Hawks were here at Parliament to brief about the ongoing investigations when it comes to state capture. But there's also the broad parliamentary investigation. As I said, the Public Enterprises Committee is still looking into issues surrounding Eskom. Parliament's Home Affairs Committee are still investigating just how the Gupta family's South African citizenship and their passports were fast-tracked. So there is still an ongoing parliamentary side to this broader investigation of state capture. But time is running out. It's just a few more months till this parliamentary year is sitting, and then we're hearing that that elections could be called within the first 2 quarters of next year, which means anything that this parliament gets done has to be finished by that time frame before Parliament rises. If it's not completed, it's up to the next Parliament to decide whether they want to continue with those parliamentary inquiries into issues surrounding the Guptas and state capture. So a lot of work still to be done by a parliamentary process, but we do know that Judicial Commission of Inquiry led by the Deputy Chief Justice, that still continues. Pravin Gordhan saying that it's up to all institutions of government and the state to ensure that the broader issues surrounding state capture does get uncovered and that those who are responsible are brought to book.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks very much for that comprehensive update. Lester Kiewit, our reporter on that story, live to us there from Parliament. Public Enterprises